Karate 360 fans, welcome back to the latest episode of the Karate 360 podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kalan Anglos.
I'm Richard Mosdell.
And let's get her going.
Hey, Karate 360, let's start the show. You will kick high and I will sweep low. From local to global, it's the thing that we love. Karate.
Sanrokumaru. It's a wet, rainy Sunday evening in Victoria.
That's right. We're in Lotus Land.
Lotus Land.
That's why it's so green.
And it's a Sunday. We don't do podcasts on Sunday.
We're just so
versatile,
wanting to just provide our community with as much as possible.
Well, you would think if we would want to provide more, we would have got this done earlier. However, somebody, me, lost the charging cable to their computer, only temporarily.
That's okay, because you were moving households.
We're up to our nose in boxes right now.
Nose in boxes.
Just trying to unload everything. Moving is stressful. We tried to not make it as stressful as we could because we did it like throughout the month and slowly taking stuff over. And even when we start on Saturday, I said, okay, no stress today. Like, let's just move nice and easy. It started out okay, and then it was just mayhem from there on out. It's just a stressful situation, but we're in our new place, and we're good to go.
It's done.
It's done.
Do you have, like, boxing gear, heavy bags, like stuff that you've used in martial arts, but you just never have a place to put it?
Yeah, it's at my mom's house right now. Stored at my parents' house until, the happy day when I can take it back out again.
Awesome. How about, and this is my problem when I move, is as I'm packing or unpacking anywhere, I go, I haven't seen this in ages. I want to sit down and read this for a while.
Yeah, totally. Finding stuff that you didn't, or like, I went through a bunch of my old clothes, a bunch of my old stuff, and it was the classic, like, I don't need this, I can get rid of it. Well, I might use it. So then you keep it, and then you never use it. But whatever. It is what it is.
Yes. But you moved, and you're closer to downtown?
Closer to downtown, closer to the gym I train out of, and it's about the same distance from here. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not so bad. It's all good.
Right on.
Yeah. And what about you? Your weekend, you were over in Vancouver.
That's right. The big Sato Cup tournament.
Sato Cup.
I think this 18th year they've had it.
Okay. Is that it? It seems like more. It seems like
it started in 2000.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
When did I start competing? I probably would have started competing, let's see, in 2000. I would have been 11 years old.
Because Sato Sensei started his tournament in 2000 in February in West Vancouver, and I started the Vancouver Karate Cup in April in Vancouver.
Right.
Same year.
Okay.
Yep.
2000. So I probably didn't start competing. Well, no, I was competing when I was 11 years old for sure. So I've probably been to a fair amount of those 18 Sato Cups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how did it go? What did we bring? Kenzen
took 14
That's right.
athletes.
Yep.
People who were doing a tournament for the first time, and some of them it was their third Sato Cup, and we got 4 golds, 5 silver, 8 bronzes.
Nice.
It was a really good experience. There's over 400 athletes this year, so it was a little bit bigger.
Right.
Athletes up from the States as well. And one of my themes for our team was you go to tournaments not only to win medals, but more importantly, you go to tournaments to fight the best of the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And to lose from them.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
That's how you learn. I said if you go in there and you're cruising just to get a medal, you're not actually finding out what your true ability is.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I have a nice. There's lots of interesting things happening. I told you some before the studio shows started, but I can tell you one on air.
Okay.
And this will drive Malia crazy, but I'm going to say it anyway. So
Perfect.
Malia is one of our elite athletes who's quiet and reserved, but when she fights, she's like a demon.
Comes out of her shell.
Oh, yeah, totally. She's like a cheetah, like running really, really fast, really talented, little slip, and running really, really fast, really talented. So she fought one of the best girls in her division, was beating her something like 5-0, 6-0.
Oh.
And then each girl decided that they were going to punch the other girl in the head at the same time.
Okay. 1
time. 2 times.
No way.
3 times.
Both of them.
Same time. And some of them were just like one did it, the other did it.
Yeah.
So they were both, she was sitting at, I think, 6-0. They both had Hansoku Chui. So
man.
Right?
Don't do anything.
I just kept yelling at her, like, whatever you do not punch her in the head.
No.
Do not. She's like 10 seconds away from winning. And then they both punch each other in the head at the same time.
Oh, no.
Wounds. And she basically just saw an opening. Had it been kickboxing, it'd be great because she went right through her guard. Yeah. And it's kind of like she tagged her, and then the other girl, because it's not a knockout punch, it still allows the other person
to get through.
So the other, she tagged it back. Anyway, so the referees look at each other like, double hand soku. What do we do? No, and then they go, oh, well, it must be a hante decision to figure out who's going to move forward, right?
Wow.
And that's actually wrong. Hante decision on double hand soku is only for a gold medal match.
So what does the rule say then?
The rules say you're out. You're both disqualified.
Both are out.
Both are out. But they went to hand soku. They went to hante.
And of course.
So then she loses the hante decision, which is really weird.
Did?
Yeah, which is stupid because she has a 6-0 in points.
Yeah.
So she had to win it.
How is that even?
So I got really angry.
I guess so.
And you know, these local tournaments that don't mean anything, they're just practice and everyone's friends. Like, you're not supposed to get angry.
No.
But I got
But
angry.
you threw a couple chairs.
Yeah, I threw a couple chairs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then, here's the other thing. So then there was 4 referees in the chair, the center referee. So the center referee goes, hante, beep, beep. And the 4 people around, they go, 2 blue, 2 red. And so he goes with the girl who's 0.
That doesn't make any sense.
And I look at him and go, first, number 1, you have to put your hand up at the same time.
Yeah.
You looked at you looked at everybody.
You can't do that.
And then you decided. And second, you can't go with the girl who's got 0 and not the girl who's got 6 points.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And it's not a gold medal match. They're both out.
Yes.
Right?
So none of this was done properly.
So had Malia won, I wouldn't have reminded them of the rule.
Yeah, of course.
You know? But because Malia didn't win, I didn't think it was fair for the other girl to go forward.
Sure.
Right? It's just, you know,
it's not fair to Malia.
It's not fair to Malia.
Yeah.
No, it's not fair for her who was up 6-0.
Yes.
Right? And the girl was whacking her after, like, had she whacked her and the other girl could have not whacked her and won legitimately.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, I went to the chief official and they're like, oh, that's right. So they got them. The other girl got disqualified too.
So they both got disqualified.
Yeah. And everyone's confused.
I could just see you throwing chairs everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And then Owen comes behind you and cleaning them up.
We got to make a video like that. Like me, like losing my mind and throwing stuff.
Owen
it's going behind me, just, you know, naturally putting things in.
For those of you listeners that don't know, Owen is one of our, he's a senior athlete now, right?
He's one of our superstar guys.
He's one of our superstar guys. He is.
Because he's a great teacher.
Yes.
A great guy.
But OCD to the max.
Oh, totally.
Everything has to be.
So he's fighting in the open, and he's up. He's got like the next match. He has to watch the current match before him because he's going to fight the winner. And so I'm like, watch closely, watch closely. There's this huge stack of chairs that some volunteers are putting away beside where he's standing, and it tips over. And all the chairs fall
at the edge of the mat.
At the edge of the mat, and he's looking, and he just runs over, takes off his gloves, and starts helping put them away. And then I sent over one of the athletes. I go, tell him he has to watch. And so then Richard Sensei says he has to watch. He looks really puzzled, like, but there's stuff. So then he kind of goes back to the edge of the match to watch, but his head keeps looking back at the chairs, like, oh my god, but there's chairs that are falling over and they need to be stacked.
Can't even help himself.
No, it was. So we were just cracking up.
That's pretty funny.
But it was great. I mean, such a great character, such a great guy to spend time with. Actually, everyone was really cool.
That's good. So you guys went over this morning?
We went over in the morning, came back in the first ferry, came back on the last ferry. Next time, I'm going to stay overnight the night before because there's just so many volunteers doing something, and there's one thing goes sideways, the other thing goes sideways. So, but it was possible. Go over and back in the same day.
Well, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but coming up is also the provincials, December 2nd and 3rd.
That's
so
right.
You'll have an opportunity pretty quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll be coaching for us.
Absolutely. Yep. I'll be coaching for Kenzen as well. How about last week when we had Parvin in here on the podcast?
That was awesome.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Good. She's good on the mic.
She is good on the mic.
Yeah. She's good.
Well, I would. She's very in Japanese akurui, like outgoing, bright.
Okay.
You know, like it means like, you know, she's awake, her face lights up, she talks to people and stuff.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago we went to the team, like the island team training.
Yeah.
And on the way back, when you were snoring and drooling in the back seat, I said to her, you know, being a national team athlete, you should have like videos of you about what your day's like
on your social media.
Yeah, just document your day and talk about your day. I said, you know, just put the camera.
Very personal.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You know, if you want to start a podcast, like this is my journey from, you know, zero to hero, that sort of thing. So yeah, she was good.
Yeah, no, I thought you know, especially having her straight off of the World Cadet and Youth U21 Championships in Spain, it was great to get her perspective in there.
Yes,
you know, we did the fitness test for the BC team, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? I don't know, I can't keep track of my times. And so we got all that data. So how we did it is we put it all on the paper and that kind of thing. 204 pieces. We've talked about this. 204 people did it, but I didn't even realize how much data and how much time it takes to take it from the paper and put it onto the computer.
You need like an iPad.
I think that's what we're going to do next time. Is we're just going to have it on the iPad, and at each station have it, or on your phone or whatever, something like that, just so it's on there, because it's like tedious going through it. And I was like, wait, number 23. This is the number. This is the number.
Well, it can easily a Google form that populates into one spreadsheet.
Yeah. So I think that's what we're going to have to do. But what I haven't sent the report out, but what the overall picture of the fitness test. First of all, the first thing that came out of that for us was not everybody did every test, because we don't have a score for everybody. So that's a problem, and they'll have to do it. But overall, in terms of the fitness numbers, since last year, everything's risen up a little bit.
Nice.
The averages have gone up, especially on the beep test, the aerobic capacity test. That's gone up quite a bit, and that's helped by a couple people getting the best that we've seen so far. We saw 15, right?
Yes.
Level 15 on the beep test. So those have all gone up. So I think people are just starting to recognize how they're supposed to train and the importance of it. And now the data is getting stronger. So it's good in the numbers.
I think there's also kind of like a little rivalry challenge thing going on.
For sure. You can see it even in between, like at the actual fitness test.
I'm going to so nail it. And like, who's going to crap out? Who's going to give the excuse like, I don't want to do it? Or
terrible like data collection on my part, and even coaching on my part. But I was stirring the pot. I would go up to Kenneth. I'd be like, Kenneth, Cheto was just saying he's going to beat you.
Perfect.
Like, no way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes to get the pot.
Yeah, get her going. So, that's also been taking up some of my time.
So next time when we do it, we'll have them put their height and weights in, or is there like some of that stuff?
Yes.
Because we were talking about BC Games, which is like Olympics for kids.
That's right. And tryouts are coming up here.
That's right.
Soon.
So we got some of the registration for a couple of the zones, which are doing their qualifiers early. Our province is in 8 zones. All the zones can send up to 12 athletes. And if a zone has enough athletes in different divisions, they'll actually have a qualifying playoff. So we had numbers for 2 of them. Nick, the club manager, used to be a math teacher.
Oh, really?
Yep. And so he looked at the heights and got the medium height. Right, and then we looked at the World Health Organization's chart for heights for Canadian boys and girls.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same.
Nice.
Like the medium that they have in their chart. It's exactly the numbers we have. And so we're going to split the comité into a lower and higher height, and boys will be the split at 156, and girls will be at 157.
Okay,
I think 157.5. The girls are taller.
Yeah, at that age usually they are.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's usually because you go through puberty a little bit earlier than boys, right?
Yes.
So usually they have that peak height velocity a little bit sooner. So there you go.
So anyway, then in terms of data collection, that was my little data collection.
That was your data. I got data coming out of my ears here pretty soon.
That's hilarious.
That's all right. All right, should we dive into a little bit of Karate Global News?
We should.
All right.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. So we know next year, 2018, the Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires is happening. Did you know this, Richard?
This is big
This is
stuff.
big.
It's because the first time karate is going to be in an official IOC Olympic event.
Yeah, the Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires. It's going to be huge. Surprised it's before, like 2 years before the induction of karate in 2020.
This is just, I think this is because it's youth.
Oh, yes, okay.
This is not senior.
No, of course, yeah.
So this is kick the tires, take it for a test run.
Okay, is that what it is? I see. So that's coming out 2018. But what we did find out is the WKF put out a qualification system sheet. I don't know if you got a chance to see this, but we can actually see they've broken down the weight categories to 3 different categories.
So these are lighter because these are kids.
Of course. But the youth ones, so there is 3 for, well, they call them men's, but boys or whatever.
What are the ages in this one?
That's a good question. If it's youth,
it's 12, 13.
Yeah. So I don't know why they'd have men and women's, but here it is.
Boys and girls.
So boys and girls. So the boys,
it's pretty light.
Kumite, minus 61, minus 68, and plus 68 are going to be the weight categories for Kumite. For women, it's minus 53, minus 59, and 59 plus. And for the it's the first qualifying event. Was the Youth World. So the Worlds that happened last week, that was the first qualifying event for the Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires in 2018. A couple other things that come out of this. So this is, I'll post this on the Facebook thing, but you can kind of see they combined a couple of the weight divisions there, the 2 smaller and the 2 higher.
Yeah, and then the middle one doesn't change because it's probably the biggest pool.
Right. Yeah. So there's 3 different they call them quotas or ways to get points to go to this event. The first is your world ranking as of June in 2018.
Oh, okay.
So the top 2 athletes per gender and weight category from the world rankings as of June 1st will be at 1 point, so to speak. Boom. Yep. So that's that one. And then the second way that they can get it is a qualifying tournament. So there's the qualifying tournament for the Youth Olympic Games is in Umag, June 29th and 30th. So June 29th, 30th. Now this is a little bit confusing to me, but there's a phase 1 and a phase 2. So this is a 2-day tournament. Both of them are qualifying days. So for the first day on June 29th, the athletes not yet qualified through the world rankings, those athletes, not them, and not belonging to the NOC of the athletes qualified through that for each weight category, we're allowed to compete in the first phase. So on the first day.
No way.
So, and then the top 2 athletes in each weight category will obtain 1 point. And then the next day, as part of the same tournament, the athletes not yet qualified through either the first world ranking or the first day of the tournament will be allowed to compete in the second phase of the event.
Interesting.
So a couple different
not
things.
belonging to the National Olympic Committee.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that means anybody. This is what I mean about first kick of the can.
Yeah.
You use this youth one to play with different weights, play with different qualifying. Okay, so you qualify to get into this tournament on your WKF points, or the day before the tournament, you have to do this tournament.
Yes.
Because you don't have the points, or you're not even in.
You're not none of it, so you have to compete the last.
You're not even in a national. Okay,
Yeah.
but somehow you have to be allowed. The interesting thing they have to explain here, maybe it's further down, is how do you get to it? Like if you're not in an NOC, then you just apply as a person.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't actually say that in here.
That's interesting.
Location of university. Yeah, that's not there. But that's what they have so far for the Youth Olympic Games in 2018. This is just another one that athlete eligibility. To be eligible to participate in the Youth Games, athletes must have been born between January 1st, 2001 and June 29th, 2002.
So 16, 17?
Be a WKF NF member. What's NF?
A National Federation member.
Okay. Participate in the WKF qualification event. So that would have been the Worlds.
Yeah.
Be ranked within the top 50 athletes of his or her WKF category, except those qualifying through that tournament in Oman.
Interesting. So that means anybody could, right now, if you're not, for example, going through USA Karate or Karate Canada, you just go to this tournament, and if you do well, then it gets you into the qualifying tournament.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's amazing. So you can completely bypass, like in Canada, it means you could bypass your provincial team and the national team.
Yeah.
You could bypass everything.
Yeah. You have to, you don't have to, but you could get points based off of the World Championships. Like, for example, Parvin would have got some points, I think, for going to the, or no, actually, unless she's ranked. See,
one of the ways was to get for your national team to give you points inside your national team, you had to at least win your first round.
Right.
So you might not get any WKF points if you don't get anything. You don't medal at the WKF event.
Right.
Yes.
So you have to medal at WKF.
You got it. Or place
or be in the world, or just be in the rankings.
You need to be at a ranking.
Yes.
Like, so if you keep getting 7th, 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 you're going to get some points.
Yes.
You're just going to get points.
You're going to be in that ranking. Yes. Which then you'll have to do that tournament still in Umag on June 7th. So interesting that they're kind of playing around with this for the Youth Olympic Games.
This is trying to allow a way for people to say, like, everybody in the karate world will get to be included. That could be a massive, crazy tournament.
Yeah, and I can't imagine they'll do the senior, like the Olympics, that way.
But this is the trial run.
So you think that they might do it?
Yeah.
Really?
This is the whole purpose of having this.
Wow.
Was
that's crazy.
The whole purpose of having a Youth Olympic Games was to do a trial run on how you're going to run the senior.
Okay. I mean, it is interesting. Yeah.
Because it's an Olympic event.
They've knocked it down to the 3 weight category, same as it's going to be at the Olympics.
So what they want to do is try it, see how it goes. This is the test run. This is the pilot project.
Yes.
and then tweak it after.
So I did just as your WKF will publish the world rankings by June 1st, 2018 on the WKF website. The WKF will confirm in writing to the National Olympic Committees on July 20th the quota places they have achieved, so the points that they have achieved, and then they have 2 weeks till July 29th to confirm if they wish to use those as points towards the qualification. So there it is.
Very interesting.
We'll see. Like I said, I'm sure there'll be some things to work out and iron out. But I guess, like you said, that's what it's for.
I'm going to send some of these questions to some people who might have some answers, and then
so you're gonna have your people call some other people.
That's right. Well, let's see if I can ask the WKF Secretary General and see what he says.
There you go. So, all right, we'll bring that to you maybe next time.
Interesting stuff. Are you going to link this on the page?
I'll put it on the page. So you guys can all look at it. All right, let's go on to a little bit technical tactical this week.
Great. I want to talk about foot sweep timing and angle using your back leg to the opponent's lead or reverse leg.
Break that down.
Okay, so you're sparring with somebody and use your back leg to sweep out their front leg.
Yes, okay.
Okay. We saw this actually a couple times yesterday in the tournament, people trying to do it and not successfully do it, and some doing it, and they were successful. So first one is, it shouldn't be a hit. It should be a sweep.
Yeah.
So the feeling should be like you're coming in really fast. As you make contact, there's almost a moment of pause, and then you flick your leg or flick your hip. That's number one. 2, your body should stay back, and only your leg should go out. Because when your body comes forward, now someone can counter you because you're bringing your body forward.
Telegraphing a little bit.
Yeah, telegraphing and coming in closer. And timing, when's the best time to foot sweep somebody? As their weight is coming down.
Yes, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when they're bouncing, as their weight's coming down, then you want to hold. It's almost like someone's holding your belt, so you can't move your torso forward. Your leg goes out like a whip or like a noodle, right? And slaps the back of their heel, and then you yank your leg back to where it started to get the whiplash effect. And then for angle, if you do it straight in front of someone, this happened yesterday. One of the athletes who was really good at foot sweeps was directly in front of the other person and foot swept and ended up tagging the person's leg and making their leg plant more into the floor.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is when you sweep, you have to be at a slight angle. So as you do it, the foot wants to travel in front of the other foot.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A really good way of practicing this is you have your partner in their fighting stance, and then you get in front of them at a bit of an angle, and you just practice taking your back leg, tagging their ankle, and getting your back leg back to its original position over and over again.
Kind of like the karate tag game we play, where you get to to doing that with the back foot, touching the foot. You know who did this really good back in his day? Somebody you saw this week was Ron Bagley.
He was awesome.
He was always at the foot sweep kind of guy. I remember he taught us. He was at a seminar with them years and years ago, and he used to say that with the best time to get them on the bounce is on their way down.
Yes.
So he used to have us like counting, they're bouncing like 1, 2, 3, sweep 1.
Totally.
2, like really just count their beats, especially, it's kind of nice, I guess, when you're fighting somebody who's got a really like monotonous bounce.
Yes,
like
yes.
You can easily count it. The harder ones are the ones that like kind of move like
jittery.
1, 2, 3, but like you don't really know how to pick it up. So yeah, he kind of taught us that one. 1, 2, 3, boom. And so you've been trying to catch them on their way down, just as their foot is just touching the floor, the weight's not quite on it.
Yes,
That's when
yes,
take
exactly.
It out.
So when do you take off?
He had us taking off like 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2,
totally
3, shoot. Like the counting was actually on their way up. So by
That's
the time
right.
they came back down, you were already there.
So when you throw your foot sweep, you get your leg going as they're bouncing up.
Yes.
So you catch your leg actually gets there and catch them on the way down.
Unless they're like a really high bouncer.
Yeah, wicked high bounce.
Wow.
A really fun way of practicing this is you get your partner, and your partner's got to bounce first high and then lower and lower with their eyes closed.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. We've done this.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then
you gotta try and catch them.
You gotta catch them. So if you catch them well, they curl nicely onto the floor on their butt.
Yeah.
But if you don't catch them well,
it kind of sucks for them. Actually, the ones who's got the boot can't.
No. It takes guts.
Yeah.
It takes guts. And one of the good things about that is, because I'll do it with the guys here. I'll just close my eyes and go, just try and do it.
Yeah.
Just try and sweep me. Is you learn about the surprise of getting swept and then learning how to control your takedown.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really good in the dojo, and it's great, obviously, in the tournament. The second thing you need are guts.
Yes.
You just
gotta have guts.
You gotta have guts. If you don't have guts, it's not going to work.
Gotta have guts.
Gotta have guts.
Like it.
Yes. So that's how you can practice it and have a lot of fun. I love takedowns. So.
All right. Well, let's get into our fitness training tip. So you gotta have guts.
Yes.
Gotta have guts.
Is that a good segue?
That's I like it. Well, we're gonna go with it.
All right.
All right. So one thing that we've talked a lot about in training for karate specifically is a lot of, and again, stuff that we do in the gym or whatever, that kind of stuff, is a lot of two-leg stuff, like a lot of bilateral, like our box jumps and that stuff. We're using both your legs. But in karate, very often you're only using one leg at a time. One leg is planted while the other one's sweeping, or the other one's kicking, or the other one's doing whatever. So basically the training tip this week is to make sure that you're also training your body, your muscles, unilaterally. So one leg at a time, one limb at a time, one arm at a time, one leg at a time. So like one leg squats, one leg, things like that. And make it karate specific, obviously, as well. So make sure that you're doing like a one leg squat, then maybe a kick with one leg or something like that. But you don't want to do all your exercises using two legs. Like body squats, yeah, are great with both your legs, but how often do you really shoot up with both your legs in karate? Not very often, right? Usually it's one leg pushing. So another good one is like the jumping bounds. We've done them before where it's just basically like a big leap, like a big, you're jumping forward a little bit, landing on one leg and then jumping onto the other leg and going forward. That's a really good one to do, and trying to explode and get as much distance as you can laterally on one leg, because that just mimics a karate specific technique. And this is also good, too, for athletes who get injured, because people obviously get injured sometimes. Very common injury. One of the most common injuries in karate is knee or hip injuries, right? So you get injured on one side. Well, what are you going to do? Well, you can still train your other leg as well. There's this thing in physiology, it's called cross education. It's where you actually strengthen you just do training on one leg, and there's lots of studies to support this. You just do training on one leg. Even without doing any training on the other leg, it actually gets stronger.
Really?
And that's just because your brain and your nervous system, gets more efficient at sending the signal to that muscle on the other side. So even if you're injured, you can still train, the good side, so to speak, or whatever, and that's going to help improve your other side. So, it's good to be doing for any kind of situation.
I love doing the balance check.
Oh, the balance check.
Yeah. Every time, have them. Every time I do a school class, university class.
Have them stand on one leg.
Close their legs. Yeah. So do it without their eyes closed. Like, this is easy. Close your eyes. Wobble, wobble, wobble.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then talk about the importance of doing that stuff, and then doing the bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, like I said, it's very karate specific, because often we are pushing off just one leg. So,
totally.
And people forget to train that sometimes.
Absolutely.
So there it is. That's the fitness training tip of the week.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that just about wraps up this episode.
Upcoming tournaments.
We got to talk about some upcoming tournaments. So first, we already talked about one of them, December 2nd and 3rd. We got the Karate BC Provincial Championships.
That's right.
We'll be there, Richmond Olympic Oval.
That's right. It's going to be big.
It's going to be big. Elites are on the 3rd, Sunday,
yep.
And then everybody else is on the Saturday.
That's right.
And then also coming up December 8th and 9th is the final Series A of the year in Shanghai, China.
That's amazing.
Yeah, December 8th and 9th, so we'll talk about that. And then also to finish off the year, December 14th to 16th is the Youth League in Venice, Italy.
Oh, wow.
So there we go. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Wow. Can you see the Canada Open being Series A?
That would be amazing. Are you giving me some eyebrows?
Did I just say it out loud?
Are you giving me some eyebrows? That'd be huge.
That'd be huge.
Huge. You working
One
on
day,
something?
I'm always working on something. When am I not working on something?
But are you working on that? Can you say?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Wow.
One day.
One day.
I think when we hit the 3-year point, we'll be able to decide what type of moves we're going to make. But it'd be pretty cool to get a Series A in North America.
Absolutely.
And so the key right now is let's build that tournament so it's solid, and then let's start adding some fun stuff to it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's, by the way, we're hoping that Canada Open will also be the Canadian Masters National Championships.
Okay.
Yep. There'll be all the Masters divisions will become the national championships.
Look at this.
One thing at a time, my friend.
One step at a time.
That's not official yet, but we're making proposals. We're doing our thing, and because it's better than like just creating a whole other event.
Yeah, for sure. Makes sense. All right. Well, there it is. A Sunday evening podcast.
A Sunday evening podcast before all the amazing things
So it's going to come out tomorrow. This one comes out tomorrow morning. So everybody watching right now, make sure to download tomorrow morning too.
Download it.
Monday mornings.
That's right. And listen to Kalan's K-Fit podcast.
I had you on. We were talking about the fitness test. Yeah. That was
you've had one more since I was on.
That's right. I had one more since there. Yep.
Yes. So you'll be back podcasting tomorrow.
Or maybe Tuesday. But we'll see. They come out on Wednesdays.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Karate 360 podcast.
59?
60. This is 60. Episode 60.
Episode 60.
What's 60 in Japanese?
Rokuju. That's right.
Of course, Rokumaru. San Rokumaru. Rokuju. There you go. I like it. So, episode 60 in the books.
Right on.
All right, guys. I'm Kalan Anglos.
I'm Richard Mosdell.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. San Rokumaru.